my dear students of class 6. Welcome you back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing well, and I hope you people are watching the full videos that are being posted. So don't forget to watch the videos, and if you have any queries, do comment in the comment box. Today in this video we will start ahead with a new topic, that is heat zones of the earth. In the last video we tried to understand about the latitudes. What are latitudes? Latitudes are the parallel lines, or we can say the horizontal lines that circles from the equator to the poles. Those are referred as latitudes. Now the parallels, that means the latitudes, divide the earth into 3 heat zones, and today we are going to read about those heat zones. So first let us know what you mean by heat zone. What is heat zone? You can well understand that as I am saying word heat, that means something related to the rays of the sun. So heat zone means the different zones of the earth which receives sun rays differently. That means the areas of the earth which receives sun rays differently. That is why here we will see that the climatic condition, that means the type of climate, weather, types of vegetation, wildlife, there will be variation in seasons because of the heat zone. That is because of the amount of rays of the sun that is reaching a particular place. So on the basis of, that means based on the amount of sun rays received, there are 3 heat zones. What are those? Number 1, the Torrid Zone. Number 2, the Temperate Zone. And number 3, the FRIGID Zone. Now the question is that why the rays of the sun fall differently in different places of the earth. Now here you can see this diagram. Just have a look and see that how is the shape of the earth. You all know that the shape of the earth is geode. We read about it earlier. That is bulging in the middle and flat at the poles. So if you will look at the curvature, that means at the circumference of the equator, it is the largest. That is why the areas which are closer to equator receives much more amount of sun rays compared to the areas which are located far away. That means as we move away from the equator, the amount of sun rays also goes on changing. That means that as our latitude increases, or as there is a difference in latitude, the amount of sun rays also changes. So the first reason for which the amount of sun rays fall indifferently in different places is that is the shape of the earth, right? Due to the curvature of the earth, the amount of sun rays are vertical at some places and slanting at other places. Yeah, I hope so all of you understood. What is the second reason for which the amount of sun rays are falling indifferently? The second reason is the tilt of the earth. Let us see. So number 1 point is curvature of the earth, or we can say shape of the earth. And number 2, tilted axis. We know that the axis of the earth is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees. So because of this tilt, the amount of sun rays also differs. Clear? So what are the reasons? Curvature of the earth or shape of the earth, and because of the tilted axis. That is why we can see that the earth is divided into 3 heat zones. Now let us move ahead with the heat zones. Number 1 is Torrid Zone. Now let us see where the Torrid Zone lies. You all can see this area between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, and this is Equator at 0 degree, right? This portion is referred as the Torrid Zone. This portion is referred as the Torrid Zone. So, from where to where the Torrid Zone lies? The Torrid Zone lies between Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north, see, to Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degree south. Now, in the Torrid Zone, you can see this is the sun, and so this is Equator, and this is 23.5 degree north, this is 23.5 degree south. So this area is receiving the direct rays of the sun. So we can say that these rays are direct or vertical. So this place is receiving direct rays of the sun. So we can say that this zone receives direct rays of the sun. The midday sun is directly overhead. Once in a year on all latitudes. Here, how will be the climatic condition? It will be hot. More amount of rainfall. The areas will receive more amount of rainfall. Temperature will be very high. We call this zone as the hottest zone. So we call this as the hottest zone, and also we call it as tropical zone, torrid or tropical zone. So this is the other name of torrid zone. So these are the regions which receives the maximum amount of heat, that means the direct rays of the sun. So that is why this area, the temperature is very high. Here the amount of rainfall will be also very high. We call this zone as the hottest zone of the earth, right? Now, if you will look at our map of India, you will notice that rightly from the middle of our country, India, the Tropic of Cancer is passing. So if I am going to draw here, the southern portion of our country, India, that means south of our country, India, lies in the torrid zone, right? And the other portion lies in the temperate zone. If anybody asks you that, please tell me which are the countries that are included or that are falling under the torrid zone, will you be able to answer? No? Let me give you the answer. The countries which lies in the torrid zone are Argentina, Brazil, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka. India is also lying, that's the south portion of our country. India lies in the torrid zone. So these are the countries which lies in the torrid zone, right? So what we learned about torrid zone, that which lies between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, receive direct rays of the sun. The midday sun is directly overhead once in a year on all latitudes. How is the climatic condition there? Hot, more amount of rainfall, temperature is quite high. We call it as the hottest zone. That is, this zone is referred as the hottest zone of the earth. And here you will notice that they have wet and dry seasons, but they do not have 4 seasons. That we all know that there are 4 seasons that we experience. That 4 seasons cannot be experienced in the areas which falls under the torrid zone. Clear? Now let us move ahead with the next zone, that is temperate zone. Number 2, temperate zone. Let us see the location of temperate zone. So temperate zone lies between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. So it lies between Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, to Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere, and between Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. Here, so this portion is referred as the temperate zone. This is referred as the north temperate zone, and this is south temperate zone. And already I told you this is torrid zone. Yep. Now you can see that here the amount of sun rays was direct, that means vertical. But as we move away from the equator, the sun rays goes on becoming slanting. That means the amount of sun rays reduces, right? So as we move from equator, that means our latitude increases, the amount of sun rays also decreases, right? Latitude increases, but the amount of sun rays goes on decreasing, because now the rays are slanting in nature, no more direct. Here in temperate zone, the sun, the midday sun, is never directly overhead. So how will be the weather conditions here? Here we will see moderate weather conditions, or we can say moderate climatic conditions. That means neither too hot nor too cold. Here we can see that this region experiences 4 seasons, that is summer, spring, autumn, winter. know some of the countries which lies in the temperate zone. Which are the countries that lies in the temperate zone? Australia, China, Japan, Europe. India also lies in the temperate zone. So, the temperate zone lies between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. And how is the climatic condition here? It is moderate, neither too hot, neither too cold. Now let us move ahead with the frigid zone. Number 3 is the frigid zone. Frigid zone lies between the Arctic Circle and North Pole in the northern hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and South Pole in the southern hemisphere. So it lies between Arctic Circle and North Pole in the northern hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and South Pole in the southern hemisphere. Here, the sun never rises above the horizon. So you can understand that the rays that reaches the poles are the least. So least amount of sun rays reaches the pole. So the sun never rises above the horizon. This zone receives the least amount of sunlight So how will be the weather conditions here? It will be very cold. We call it as the coldest zone. The climatic conditions, cold. It is mostly covered up with snow. So from where to where frigid zone lies? This is the region. This we call as frigid zone. Which lies between Arctic Circle and North Pole in the Northern Hemisphere, Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the Southern Hemisphere. Here the sun never rises above the horizon, so it receives the least amount of sun rays. That is why it is the coldest zone. Here the climatic conditions is very cold. It is most of the time it is covered up with snow. Now this zone lies at the farthest. As the sun rays have to travel for a larger distance, that means have to cover a larger distance, that is why the amount of sun rays goes on slanting. So this is the reason that the frigid zone is the coldest zone, because it does not receive much amount of sunlight. Now let us know some of the countries that lies in the frigid zone. Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Iceland, Norway. These are the countries that lies in the frigid zone. So what we learned about the frigid zone, from where to where it lies, the sun never rises above the horizon. Zone receives the least amount of sunlight. Coldest zone, climatic conditions. Zone lies at the farthest, as the sun has to travel or cover a larger distance, so the rays of the sun goes on becoming slanting. Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Iceland, Norway. These are some of the countries that lies in the frigid zone. So today in this video what we learned about the heat zones, that is torrid zone, temperate zone and about the frigid zone. I hope so all of you understood. Don't forget to read your NCERT. Do watch the full video. Do not skip the video in between. If you have any problem or any suggestion, do comment in the comment box given below. In the description box, you will find the PDF where you will get the notes on this chapter. If you like my video and my content, don't forget to hit the like button. Do subscribe and click the bell button for further notification. Till then, thank you. Stay safe and stay at home.